Okay, we're going to open this compost bin here. It's May 23rd, 2018. We're going to take the front of it off, and I'm going to start wheelbarrowing it into the garden. There are 29 animal mortalities in this bin, plus all the toilet material from a household and all the kitchen scraps, plus garden residues and yard materials. 9 chickens, 3 ducks, 13 raccoons, and 4 possums in this bin. We're going to open this up, and this compost is going to go in my food garden, and we're going to see what Humanure, dead animals, food scraps, and everything else turns into after a year or so of composting. So what I usually do, I take this cover material off the top. Whenever you put the compost bin to rest, cover it real thoroughly. This cover material then becomes the bottom, or the biological sponge, for the next bin. But I'm just curious what happened to all those dead animals that went in here. This is what toilet material turns into when you compost it. Most toilets produce sewage. A compost toilet produces compost. And compost is something you can use to grow your food with, and I've been doing it now for 40 years. This cover material is not just on the top. If you've seen my other videos, you'll know that it's the cover material, or the straw that I'm using, is completely around the outside of the bin and underneath. So there's actually a layer along the sides as well as the top. So what that does is insulates it. It keeps the compost off the sides of the bin. It envelops the entire compost so there are no exposed edges. It helps keep it from freezing in the wintertime, and it keeps heavy rains from drenching the compost, and it keeps it from drying out. Of course, the compost has no odor. There's nothing unpleasant about it. What this is made from is toilet material, which is fecal material and urine, toilet paper. When you're making compost with toilet material, there's no need to separate urine. In fact, you don't want to separate urine. You want to keep it all in the compost. And there's no reason to segregate toilet paper. All of your kitchen scraps goes into the same compost bin. Any other organic materials that you want to recycle goes in the same compost bin. That's weeds from the garden, that's grass clippings, so anyway, here's the wheelbarrow number 1. I'm looking for traces of a dead animal. So far I haven't found anything. 29 dead animals in this pile. Keep looking here, I'm bound to find something. It's amazing how an entire carcass will just dissolve in a compost environment. The point here is that a compost bin can not only recycle your toilet material so that you don't need to produce any sewage at all, but it'll also compost and recycle dead animals and food scraps and anything else that you want to. Normally, in normal households, they might be discarded and considered waste. In a composting household, it's all recycled, and this is what it turns into. And this grows food that helps you to survive. I put chicken manure on top of the soil, and on top of that, compost. I'm using the compost like a mulch this year. That's my third wheelbarrow load. I haven't found a bone yet. To give you an idea of what's gone in there is 29 fully grown animals. 13 of the animals are raccoons, full grown like this. They kill my chickens and they kill my ducks, and they ruin the duck nest. They get into the nest and eat all the eggs. And now they make garden soil for me. Alright, I did find something here. A skull. Or what's left of one anyway. This is basically what I'm finding. These are skulls. The bony parts aren't composting. The insides, there's nothing in there, just dirt. It looks like dirt. It's actually compost and earthworms. So rather gruesome looking, but goes back to the soil, recycles, adds nutrients to the soil, and gets rid of a pest problem all at the same time. Alright, we got the compost bin emptied out. Now that it's empty, I can take this old cover material that was around the sides and on the top and throw it in there, start the biological sponge for the next pile. It's now June 7th, 2018. I usually start the next pile around the summer solstice, June 20th, something like that, a couple weeks from now. This is the current pile. I just put that big raccoon in here, and best thing to cover a dead animal with is toilet material. This one here has a bunch of dead animals in it too, but I didn't count them, so I don't know how many. This is where I keep the cover material, and the garden is over here. Peppers, tomatoes. This is garlic, carrots, beets, cilantro, broccoli, and kale. I have sweet peppers here, hot peppers there, a little bit of broccoli, early broccoli, some parsley, onions. This is sweet corn, asparagus bed here, perennials, azaleas, hostas,